me until 3 weeks ago when I was talking to my pastor, but he said, "Daughter, I have called you to be a modern day Moses."
All right.
Because that very baby was left in a heroin house on the west side of Buffalo, and it wasn't for a stranger next door wondering why the mail was piling up, cracking the window open because she was just that nosy, going in and finding a baby that was wrapped in her own feces, had lost about 4 pounds of her birth weight, and all she knew was to get her to the local hospital. A few days later, a gentleman by the name of Chinaza Duson would come by because his own daughter was banished from his home, he did make periodic stops. And he came by and he checked, and the neighbors told him there was a baby found here a few days ago. The doctor said it didn't look good, but she is at Miller Fillmore Hospital, for those of you who know Buffalo, New York. And he went to the hospital, and the doctor said, "We want you to say your goodbyes. It doesn't look good." And it was from that moment on, my grandfather said, "I see something else." And he stayed by my bedside, and by the grace of God, God allowed life to come back into my body. He allowed my weight to come back up to normal. And then they told the doctors, "You have to make a decision. Will you turn over to the state or will you take her?" That day set my life on a course. And I'm going somewhere, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going somewhere because if you know the story of Moses, you know that he was set on a course, put in a basket. He ended up being nursed by his own mother, but he had to go through some things. I want to leave a word in your spirit today as I continue this journey. Somebody say Exodus.
Exodus.
Because a lot of times we look at our circumstances and we are ready to die right there. But see, there was somebody that saw just a little bit to believe in me. Somebody that said, "I'll try to love her," but really didn't have the capacity. So my life went on, and I'm going to tell you, it wasn't pretty. I went from being in what I thought was a healthy home to being abused, molested, raped, sodomized, to being locked up by the time that I was 13, to being incarcerated in juvenile hall, becoming a juvenile delinquent. Yes, if you Google me, you will see a mugshot or two. I went through hell and back and beyond, still trying to figure out where was it that I belonged. From the palace to the pit. And you think your situation is so hard. You want to quit the business because somebody told you no. You want to give up because you got a little bit of rejection. You want to throw in the towel because your best friend quit your business. You can't do it because your mother and father don't believe in your vision. If somebody said Exodus. One of the things that I've come to understand is that all of that hell that I went through, from the failed marriage to the abortions, to the children out of wedlock, to the other failed marriage, to the failure upon failure upon failure. Read somewhere that a righteous man falls 7 times a year and still gets back up.